Elon Musk has weighed in on the Acolyte, and he says that it is even worse than the South Park parody of Lucasfilm and Star Wars. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com, and Musk reacted to Acolyte showrunner Leslye Headland describing her upcoming show as a lesbian fan fiction that has a veneer of Star Wars. So let's listen to what Leslye Headland had to say. She said this last year at Star Wars Celebration back in April. It has resurfaced given the fact that the Acolyte trailer just released this week. Let's listen to what Leslye Headland had to say here.
When I saw Frozen as a grown ass woman, I cried through the entire movie. There was just something about the relationship between the sisters, the like de-villainization of the classic kind of fairy tale bad guy, the concept of true love being between two sisters and not a heterosexual relationship. Like it just destroyed me completely. And I thought, gosh, I would love to make something like this that is, for lack of a better term, Disney, meaning something that like my parents would have allowed me to see when I was younger as a queer person.
Gotcha.
But I would have been able to understand as a queer person. And I think I would have had a completely different life. And so I really was inspired by it and was like, God, I would love to make a story like this. And so when I was developing this original idea to pitch to Kathleen, I thought, well, it can't just be that. When you're pitching Star Wars, you have to pull from what George was also interested in. Like, it can't just be like, well, I'm referencing, especially if you're going to set something, during the High Republic or end of High Republic into prequels, you don't have the Skywalker saga. Like, you can't reference a character that was created by George and or Filoni. Like, you have to create your own new characters.
So that is what Leslye Headland had to say. Obviously, basically confirming that the South Park parody isn't a parody, it's real life. And that is what Elon Musk had to say. This is what he posted on X. He says, reality is actually crazier than the South Park parody. So she's not just putting a chick in it, making it gay and lame. She's putting multiple chicks in it, making it gay and lame. That is what Leslye Headland is saying she is doing to the Acolyte, and Elon Musk is calling her out. So if you don't really know what's going on with the South Park parody, they did do this special called South Park Joining the Panderverse. The show criticizes how Lucasfilm creates Star Wars shows by putting a chick in it and making it lame and gay. Eric Cartman, as an alternate universe Kathleen Kennedy, instructs Disney executives and filmmakers to put chicks in their various films and make them gay and lame. This includes films about Indiana Jones, Bambi, and Prince Eric. In fact, she even demands this be done to her linguine when she's at this Italian restaurant. Clip is here on thatparkplace.com. I'm not going to show it here. Obviously, probably some copyright issues, but I will have the link to this article in the description below. And this isn't out of the ordinary for Leslye Headland. We saw her say this in an interview with Empire last year discussing the show. She said this is what she told the outlet. She said it is sort of a joke, but it was my elevator pitch to Kathleen Kennedy. I want to take that revisionist version of female villains that you see in a fairy tale media and tell it through that lens. So she's talking about how she's combining Frozen with Kill Bill. She added saying, when I was a young queer girl, I was just hanging out with Ursula the Sea Witch from The Little Mermaid. As a queer girl growing up, if you don't identify with the heroes and the villains show up and they're all queer coded, you're like, yes, that's me. So she's literally saying she's a villain, like Ursula the Sea Witch. She's comparing herself to Ursula the Sea Witch, who steals Ariel's voice and then tries to take over. That's who she's comparing herself to. Absolutely wild. And the show, she's told us the show is about the villains. Nevertheless, she went on and said, as a queer filmmaker, you're going to see camp inevitably, but I would say that tonally our references are darker. So this show is dead on arrival. Absolutely going to be following the Disney Lucasfilm playbook that we have seen over the past half decade. They are putting a chick in it, making it lame and gay, and clearly going to be trying to push that LGBTQ plus agenda that we have seen Lucasfilm and Disney do over the past half decade or so, even in children's content like the Disney Junior Star Wars show. what is it, Young Jedi, something like that. Where they're pushing that stuff. So it looks like they're going to be doing that in the Acolyte as well. And Elon Musk is lampooning Leslye Headland, the Acolyte, and Lucasfilm for basically being a walking parody of itself. But let me know what you guys make of what Elon Musk had to say here. What do you make of what Leslye Headland had to say? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, but to always speak the truth.